Yes, sir, buddy. Welcome back to the second segment of the hashtag Brothers the Baseball Show right here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. It's your boy Willie Epting Jr. checking in live, loud, and in color. And that was rhyming and stealing. And I have managed to steal a little bit of the time of the family because most of them are here. We're going to bring them in here in just a second. We got Liz, we got the Rip, we got Leslie. Unfortunately, Christina and Mel have to work, and DC is out there somewhere lost in oblivion. So hopefully he'll be able to get on here ASAP. All right, just in case you guys missed it in the first segment. We handed out some. Well, we're gonna do that right here in a few minutes. The awards have been out, or they've been announced. But also in the first segment, it is completely official. Armageddon is here. The last days of sports are here because as of 2025, there will be no more teams in the East Bay as the Las Vegas A's, soon to be Las Vegas A's, got the unanimous vote from MLB to take their talents from the East Bay of East Oakland, California, and will be headed to the desert as soon as this lease is up. So I want to get the family's thoughts on that in here in just a second. Before we move on any further, though, in this second segment, it is being brought to you by Intense High School Football Action continues to live here. And yes, I know this is a baseball show, but it is being brought to you by football as the Crowley Eagles and the Dunbar Wildcats are looking to be playoff bound. Catch the Eagles on the BGCSN 1 and the Wildcats on the BGCSN 2. Two teams, two stations, twice the intense high school football action for schedules and times. Go to BGCSports.net. Once again, that is BGCSports.net. Ace Gentry is on the call. He knows all about high school football here in the great state of Texas. All right, here she is, Liz. Here he is, the Rit, and here she is, Leslie. What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Hey,
Not
guys.
bad. Not bad.
Missing
Good to be
baseball.
back.
Well, thank y'all for having this family reunion. It's been a long time coming, and unfortunately, as I said in the intro of the segment, good grief. Chris and Mel they weren't unable to be with us because life gets in the way, and it is what it is. So I'm so happy to see you guys. I hope everything is going well in your world. Let's get to some baseball talk, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the MVPs of the American League and the National League have just been announced. Shohei Ohtani is your American League MVP. He's the first time ever to win that award on a unanimous vote twice. This is the second time he's won it in the last 3 years. Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Atlanta Braves, he wins it in the National League, and why not? I mean, he had an historic season himself. I was a little surprised with the Ohtani vote. Rit, tell me what you think about Ohtani getting the AL MVP.
Oh man, it's really great in my opinion. Just for the fact is, it's more hardware he can bring when he signs with the Boston Red Sox in this offseason. So
you keep dreaming there, buddy.
Keep dreaming. It's showtime up here in Boston. I can't wait. The only thing is, it's another MVP will spike up his contract a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Do we have the money? Are they willing to pay? That's the problem right here.
I already spent all of John Henry's money on Yamamoto, so no.
Well, I mean, if you look at it from the standpoint of what, I mean, we know he's not going to be able to pitch in 2024, and that's what you guys need most is arms. You don't really need any more bats. So with the fact that he can't pitch, Liz, is it worth it to go after him?
I mean, yeah, he won't be able to pitch until 2025 because he just had his elbow surgery. But he is a great hitter, though. I mean, let's be real. Every time he hits a ball, it's just home run. So, although we need pitching, yes, but if we're at bats and we need those runs, then I will take it.
Well, Leslie, let me ask you, because there are other now. There's not going to be a free agent like Shohei Ohtani probably for the rest of our lifetime, and maybe
Probably not.
probably for the next 2 or 3 lifetimes after that.
Right.
So the other free agents that could potentially be on the list in terms of pitchers,
Yeah.
there's a couple out there that I want to ask you guys about, and we're gonna start with you. Blake Snell. Blake Snell has
Snell, Padres. Yeah.
He just
Cy Young winner for the second time in a row. Let's go.
for the second time.
That's some good options.
He's the second time winner of the Cy Young Award, and only the 4th pitcher in the history of the world to do it in both leagues. So you have
correct. Yeah.
You have him, you have Aaron Nola, and you have Jordan Montgomery, who was really, really prolific in the Rangers run to the World Series. So
love Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, think about it from that standpoint. With Shohei being realistically off the table from the bump standpoint, what are your thoughts on these 3 guys that are out there?
Listen, I love Montgomery and Snell. I mean, I think that would be amazing, honestly. Jordan Montgomery, on the Pesky Party Hour, we came up with our, rosters, and Jordan Montgomery was on my list. Like, I want him. Let's do it. Let's get him into Boston. I think it's a really realistic opportunity for Boston. Shohei Ohtani, listen, the risk is too high. He can't pitch next year. And then if you use him at bat, what happens? What happens if he gets injured? Then he's wasted all that money because now he's not going to be able to play at all. So I think it'd be great. I think it'd be so much fun. The merch alone for him coming to Boston would be incredible, but I don't see it happening. Aaron Nola from the Phillies, also a good option, but I really like Jordan Montgomery. He'd be my number 1, Snell my number 2.
Okay. So, Rit, you threw it out there as far as Ohtani to Boston. What are your thoughts or your feelings about him not being able to pitch? And then you have at least these other 3 big name prospects in terms of free agency that are out there that have a lot of big game experience, with Montgomery and Nola for that matter. And then, of course, Snell with his 2nd Cy Young Award in the second, or in the other league. What are your thoughts about those 3 guys?
First thing, if I had to pick 2 of the 3, it's got to be Montgomery and Aaron Nola. Snell, in my opinion, his arm is already well used in his career. He's already pitched in the AL East, so there's no need to bring him on board. With Ohtani, I like him pitching next year. Contract comes off next year, so we need to fill that starting pitching spot. Ohtani can easily slide in. Then you have a 1, 2, 3, and move Bayo down to 4, and just let him learn.
Well, I have a theory about that. Because I understand we have to think, or we have to believe that the contract in terms of years for Shohei is going to be anywhere between 7 to 10. So not really looking at next year in terms of his availability to pitch. However, it may be a move that can maybe attract other big name free agents. And I haven't looked at the list for free agents after the 2024 season. I mean, Chris Sale is going to be one of them. Is that a viable option for Sale to maybe come back if Ohtani happens to land there, Les?
Oh, Sale? No, I'm sorry. I think I'm already done with Sale. I just think we just need to let him go. I know that, I know people have like mixed feelings about him. I just don't think he's getting ready to be released from us. And just to have him again, and he's just been injured back to back to back to back. And every time we think that he's going to do well, he doesn't. It's another letdown. We need a starting pitcher, and definitely he's not it. So we can just let him go. I'm okay with that. I know that Otani. I mean, trying to have him pitch like Rich said for next year. I mean, that's not going to be doable. We don't want to mess up his injury more. But yeah, as far as Sale, I'm sorry guys, but if you guys are Sale lover, he got to go.
He only has one more year left. It doesn't make sense to release him now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and as we know, contracts in MLB are pretty much fully guaranteed. So
Yeah, you're going to pay him, and you might as well keep him.
Get what you
The
can.
devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good to have Leslie back.
Sorry.
So I have a couple of other free agent thoughts. Well, let me go back. Let me go back because there's some ballers that you guys have. You got Rafael Devers, who just won the Silver Slugger. You have Tristan Casas, who finished third in the MVP voting. I'm sorry, the Rookie of the Year voting. And then you have Yoshida, who, for whatever reason, he wasn't included in that. And then Chris Martin. I mean, you guys have some good pieces in place. Aside from pitching, Liz, do you realistically see maybe a Gleyber Torres coming up from the Yankees?
And my God.
As Red Sox Nation, how would you feel about that?
I think that every time there is a Yankees player brought into the Red Sox, it's like mixed feelings, especially because I was listening, we're reading that the Yankees potentially want Verdugo, which I'm not really happy about that right there. So it will be a mixed feelings. I mean, Gleyber Torres, what can I say? Second baseman. He's also a shortstop. We don't need him as a shortstop. We can use him as a second base, but I don't know if I will be happy about that move, but I guess we'll have to see. I'm hoping it's a no, but we'll have to see.
All right. So let me ask you this, because obviously there were a lot of issues on the defensive side of the diamond for the Red Sox last year. And with Trevor Story really being gone for 2/3 of the season and obviously coming back in 2024 fully healthy, how much do you believe that will enhance the ability for the Red Sox to be better, because they can't really be that much worse? How much of an impact do you think Story being there the entire season will have on the rest of those guys in that infield?
Well, on offensive side, I think we're fine. We are ranked 6th overall. Defense is where we have to step it up. And if Justin Turner doesn't re-sign with us, Trevor Story's got to be the next man up in that clubhouse. He's got to be the next leader and lead by example. He's sit there and he's got to be the one that's vocal on the field to get everybody to play on the same level, on the same page. Him, just when he came back after All-Star break for a little bit, and man, I almost forgot Kike even played shortstop there because he looked so good there coming back. His bat wasn't what we needed it to be, but the glove was there. And then all of a sudden, Devers is playing third. He's like, oh man, Kike's got more errors than me. I got to one-up him. And Devers got to get his head in the game. And he can't be making miraculous plays and then the next at bat throwing something over to the first base dugout. Like, you can't do that, and not as a major league player. And the piggyback off what Liz was saying, we can't give up Verdugo. Like, Torres is fine, but we can't give up our best defensive outfielder unless we know we can replace him out there. So,
well, Leslie, let me ask you this then, because it's more or less expected that when somebody is out for an extended period of time, like Trevor was, that the bat is going to take a little while for it to catch up to the defense, especially when you're the defensive player caliber that he is. Going into 2024, and because if I'm not mistaken, the Red Sox, did Justin decline the player option for 2024?
Turner did.
Turner
Yeah, he
did. Yeah,
declined.
Justin did.
Yeah.
So he declined the play. So it was a player option,
Yeah.
not a club option.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Any thoughts on what he may or may not do in terms of possibly coming back, Les?
Justin Turner?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's coming back. I don't think he's coming back. I mean, he's done 15 years already, 15 seasons. He just won, was like one of the nominees for the Heart and Hustle. I just don't see him coming back, honestly, especially how he ended the year here. But on Trevor's story, you guys keep having him at short. I think he needs to play second. I think he has to play second, mostly because he doesn't want to, and I don't think you get to dictate that as a player. So I think he needs to stay at second.
You think he needs to go to second?
I think he needs to play second. Yeah.
Wow. So who's
I
going to go
do.
to short? So who's going to go to short, Liz?
Yeah, no, I definitely want Story to be at shortstop. I mean, we need a second baseman. And it's not, just like Leslie said, it's not what the player dictates. But what if we put him at second base and he just doesn't perform like he should because he doesn't want to be there? I mean, I would rather keep him.
It's not really his
He
choice,
has done.
though. You know what I mean?
It's
not his choice.
But all those.
And if you're going to be that, then you can't be the captain we all want him to be either.
Oh well.
I mean,
yeah,
he has to be a team player, and his comments on that earlier lead me to believe that he just wasn't. I mean, you can't. I want to play short. That's what I was good at. Well, yeah, but you were injured, so we put you at second, and maybe you need to stay there for a while. I'm not saying the whole year, but maybe start out there. Let's see what happens. But Justin Turner, no, I don't think he's coming back.
But
I don't think he's coming back.
So somebody needs to probably get in his ear and talk about how Mookie played every position on the field except for
exactly. You didn't see him pitching.
And Mookie finished what, second in the MVP? Yeah, he finished second behind Acuna Jr. I hate to rub a scab because I know y'all miss that dude. I mean, you can't help but to miss Mookie. I mean, he had
Mookie and
go there.
He had 105 RBIs, the most from a leadoff position in the history of the sport. And he went to LA and he hasn't looked back, but it's
Raffy had 100 RBIs this last year, so let's keep that in mind.
Well, I mean, yeah, but we're talking about Mookie, who is a true 5-2.
I know. Yeah, so, I mean, he was amazing, right? He would do whatever he was asked to do, and I think that's where Trevor needs to be right now. So, I mean, not the whole year, but let's see what he does at second. It might be good for him. We don't know.
All right,
let's see what happens.
That is going to wind it down for the second segment. Y'all come on back on the other side of the break. We're going to continue the baseball talk. I got to get these guys' thoughts on the Rangers and what they did to the Astros and going on to win the World Series. So y'all make sure y'all come on back. It is Liz. It's Les. It's the Rit. It's Willie. This is the hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show. Y'all come back and holler at us. ShakeBack Media Group, Willie Epting Jr., hashtag Brothers of Baseball. Where are we? We are at the official MLB apparel store live in New York City. Man, the show, 12s and 6s, 1s and 7s, BGCSN 1 and 2. Come on, check your boy out, Willie Epting Jr., hashtag Brothers of Baseball. Can't be heard. Now, there we go. How long we been doing this? Everybody just missed out everything that I just said. Okay, we're back for the third and final segment of the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show. We got the Rit, we got Liz, and we are chopping it up all about baseball, all about the Red Sox, and the Rit made a proposal to Shohei Ohtani. Will you please marry us, the Boston Red Sox? So we'll wait for Shohei's answer on that. We're going to get to some Texas Rangers and what they did in the World Series to the hated Houston Astros, all except for Liz because she loves them for some reason.
Thank you. Right. I was going to say that if you didn't mention, I was going to say that because I just want to make it known that I love the Astros. And I was in Texas that day and I wanted to go to the game, but it was all sold out. And I was really devastated when they lost. I'm serious, you guys. And that's okay. I can be that 1% that don't like them, but it's okay. I'm unique, so
and you will be that 1%. All right, this third and final segment is being brought to you by us. Who is us? We is us. We is the Big Game Christian Sports Network. That's right. You can hear us by saying Alexa, start BGC Sports Network, or Alexa, start BGC Sports Network 2. Either way, 24 hours a day. You can listen to the fastest growing online sports network in the world, the BGC Sports Network. That is us. That is who we are. That is what we do. All right. Speaking of the Texas Rangers defeat the Arizona Diamondbacks. Shout out to Corbin Carroll for winning the National League Rookie of the Year like everybody thought that he would.
Yes.
They defeat the Diamondbacks 4-1 with the fifth game being in Phoenix. And Bruce Bochy, the Rit, has won his 4th World Series championship. So, is he going to walk into the Hall of Fame when he's done?
He would almost have to. And in my opinion, 4 World Series titles, like that has to sit there and mean something. That shows you how much he knows how to connect with his players, how to get the most out of his players. And it also sits there and shows you that, especially with the Texas Rangers, pitching and defense wins championships. And that pitching staff for the Rangers next year, if they get Jordan Montgomery to come back, is probably one of the best in baseball.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Les.
I hate to say this. I agree with Rich on that. Not that I hate to agree with him, but I just, I mean, like you said, 4 titles. I mean, that's something. So yeah, he should definitely walk into the Hall of Fame for sure.
What say you, Liz?
I mean, just like Rick said, I mean, if you're not the best, you have 4 titles to win. That speaks highly of him. So I would be really surprised if he doesn't walk into the Hall of Fame. I mean, he should have that. It should be in the bag, no doubt.
Well, I think he's also proven that he can win a World Series in a year that does not end with a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0, because those
Yes.
those Giants teams won in 2010, 2012, and 2014 with one of those series wins coming over the Rangers back whenever it was. And look, for the Rangers, and I'm in Dallas, guys, or I'm in the Dallas area, and I'm not a Ranger fan. I got to get y'all's thoughts on this. I mean, we're about to go completely off the rails for the this.
Hit me with it.
I'm going to get to this in just a second, but for the Rangers and my big homie, the hitting coach and the offensive coordinator and the bench coach for those Rangers, Donnie Ecker, he had absolutely so much to do with turning that offense around as one of the scariest offenses in the American League. And for Bruce Bochy to come in after going fishing with his grandson and going hunting with his grandson and chilling on the couch and recovering from whatever medical issues he was having, comes back and leads a team that lost 196 games over the past 2 years to the pinnacle of the sport. And that in itself says a lot. And the Rangers guys aren't going anywhere. I mean, they are back with just about everybody. They've got Simeon and Seager, who, oh, by the way, finished 2 and 3 in the MVP count. They got those two locked up. They got a rookie at third base. They got a young player at first base. They have a rookie at catcher. They, excuse me, they still have Scherzer. They have, if Montgomery comes back, y'all's boy Nathan Eovaldi is there.
Nasty Nate.
So
DeGrom.
Well, DeGrom is going to be out all next year because he's got the Tommy John, so he's not going to. I don't think he's going to pitch next year. But if he does, and he comes back towards the end of the year, like we thought Max Scherzer was going to be out for the end of the throughout for the remainder of the season when he went out, then we can have another discussion about that. But here's the thing though, because excuse me, I'm getting choked up. Nobody thought that either of those teams would be in the positions that they were. And the Rangers, ironically, had the best offense in the American League. And on the last day of the year to win the division, they get shut out by the Seattle Mariners. And the Diamondbacks, I don't think they're going anywhere either, but their star, their main bat in the middle of that lineup, Christian Walker, flat out did not show up in this World Series. And it cost them. So, out of these two teams, which one, Rit, has the best opportunity to be back in this spot next year?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because the American League is ridiculously stacked.
Yeah.
Like the National League, in my opinion, is a three-headed juggernaut. You got the Braves, you got the Phillies, and you have the Dodgers. Yeah, so for Arizona to come back and repeat, that's going to be tough for them. The Rangers, though, I think had the better chance because the Rangers got on board of what, and I'm going to say it, what the Houston Astros have been doing to develop within, lock up some key players, and bring in pitching. That's what the Astros have been doing. The Rangers finally was able to do that, and they might not have won the division, but what would have happened if the Rangers won the World Series? That's the greatest quote I've heard ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, a mentor of mine once told me that there's nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you're copying the right cat. And the Houston Astros definitely were the right cat. Aside from what we may think or feel about them with the scandal and whatnot, the fact of the matter is those dudes can play some baseball. That's just what it is. And having signs is not going to help you in the field whenever you're playing defense. It's not going to help you on the base pass when you're trying to steal a base. It's not going to help you if you need to drag a bunt and sacrifice somebody over. Well, it may help you a little bit in that. But I just think that the Rangers, you know, they've been starving. As a matter of fact, this whole entire area has been starving, which is going to lead me to the next question that I'm going to bring to you guys. We're going to stay here for the rest of the show. This whole fan base, the Cowboys, the Mavs, the Stars, and the Rangers, been starving for a championship. There's been no championships in this area since 1999, and that was when the Dallas Stars, 2011 when the Mavs won it, and they weren't supposed to win it that year because they were going up against the Heat. You know, the Heat that said not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, that Heat. But here's the thing. I have been trying to get people, especially people that are the same shade of color that I am, to get on board with watching the sport of baseball. And not only did they tell me I was crazy, not only did they tell me they couldn't do it because the sport is too slow, it's too boring, they also said that I need to stop doing this show. And I'm not going to ever stop doing this show because baseball is my favorite sport. So let me ask y'all a question. Let's start with you, Leslie, because you have that look on your face that you're ready to say something. And this question is going
Maybe.
This question is going to make you do just that.
Okay, hit me with it.
Do you have a problem with people who may live in the area where the team has won the championship, but then a sport that they don't even watch, their team in that area wins the championship and they start claiming the team is theirs?
Oh, I have a huge problem with that, but I think you all know that. Royals and 2014, 2015. Yeah, it's a huge problem for me. You can't hate the team your entire life, never watch a single freaking game, and then they win anything. I don't care if they just win the division. You can't say, oh, they're my team. I've loved them since I was 3 years old. You can't say that. But to touch more on what you were saying about people your color, I'll use your words. I think that's a problem not just in your area. I think that's a problem nationwide. And I think it's due to them not having access to fields in some of the inner cities, like where I grew up, quite frankly. There weren't a lot of baseball fields around. So they were playing basketball and they play football, but there wasn't baseball. So if they don't grow up playing baseball, you can't expect people to be that invested in it.
Okay, I got to stop you right there because I got to get the same question to the rest of the panel.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. That's something that I really want to dive in with you guys at some point because I have a theory about that too. But Liz, let me ask you because we only got 3 minutes left to go in the show, guys, and this is running by just that quick. So, Liz, do you have a problem with people who jump on the bandwagon when the team begins to get good?
Of course I do. And to back up in just a little minor story, like here in Atlanta, you know, our teams in Atlanta, they're just terrible. Everybody knows the Falcons, the Hawks, all of them. But they have a soccer team, the Atlanta United. And when they won a couple years ago, everybody was rocking the jersey. Everybody jumped on that wagon. Nobody even watched soccer. And I was like, what is going on here, guys? You just can't claim the team just because they won. So it's a no for me. You got to like it from the very beginning. You have to have a passion for it, watch all their games. If you don't, just don't. Just don't jump on that wagon, please.
Rich,
True.
Give it to him.
That's a big no for me because I got accused of it before. I am a huge Giants fan. I'm sorry, Willie, but you're going to respect this. People asked when we beat the Patriots, not once, but twice, in the Super Bowl, oh, you're just a bandwagon jumper. No. I've been through some tough times. Those 90s teams with the Giants, Dave Brown, Danny Cannell, Kent Graham, oh, they were some tough times. So it's a big no. You gotta ride or die with the team that you support and don't just jump on board.
Well, we're a Sox fan in the 80s.
Yeah.
Or the 90s.
Or Cowboys fans. See, this is the thing.
Guys. Ever?
Do they still have fans?
They are the most annoying fan base in the entire solar system. So
that would be Chiefs fans.
Nah, but Chiefs fans can do that because they have a dynastic type of thing going on. The Cowboys haven't.
Okay, prior to Patty Mahomes, they didn't, and they were still as obnoxious. So.
But what I'm saying though is that they have. Okay, we got to stop it here. Let me get to these social media. We're going to do this again soon, like next week if you guys are available. Let's get to some social media comments real quick. A part of the ShakeBack Media Group family is the Herb and Raj podcast. He says, "Good evening, Willie," and I say, "Good evening back to you." And then he says, "Good evening to people who I don't know but are clearly awesome." That's Herb and Raj. All right, this is me nodding my head and supporting you, even though I have no idea what anyone is talking about. He's clearly not a baseball fan. And then she just nuked Atlanta sports in a discussion about Boston. That's awesome. I mean, she lives in Atlanta, so she lives in the Atlanta area, so she could do that. All right. So with that being said, it's time to go already. And I sure hated that we didn't do this. We just got to come back again next week and do this. So with that being said, up next is the big homie from Press Box to Press Row, Donald Ware. He's got all your HBCU and a whole bunch of other cool stuff as well. We gonna get out of here for now, man. But for the Rit, for Liz, for Les, this is Willie. Y'all take care of each other. Y'all hug each other. Y'all love each other. I promise it's gonna be all right. We gonna holler at y'all again real soon. Peace. We out.